it started to get out of hand. I really didn't notice it myself, but a lot of my friends and family them did. But let me remind you that my daddy was an alcoholic. So I'm kind of predisposed to the whole alcoholism thing.
Happy Sober Day, friends. Welcome to the Sobriety Diaries. My name is Nate. I am a grateful recovering alcoholic 7 years from my last drink. The Sobriety Diaries is a video podcast where we share powerful stories of recovery told by those who lived them. Check us out at thesobrietydiaries.com for all things podcast related. And for all our video interviews, head over to youtube.com/Nate Kelly. Also, please share this podcast with just one person in your life who may still be struggling. You just never know what they may need to hear today. Recovery is possible. I am here with my new friend, Mr. Showoutt. How are you today, my friend? Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful.
Happy New Year.
It's a blessing we able to see 2023, y'all. This is a new year, new beginnings, new dreams, new aspirations, and so
Absolutely.
let's start the new off with a bang, everyone.
That's a good point. Let's just jump right into it. Have you set any new goals for 2023? What's your game plan? What are you working on this year?
I started this journey in my life because I wanted to change, and I did just that. You know, I'm almost 2 years into my recovery, and it's the best choice I ever made in my life.
Hardest thing I've ever done, hardest shit that is probably imaginable, but I've got nothing but blessings since then, and by far the best decision I've ever made.
I agree.
I definitely want to talk about the show a little bit more. And like I said before we started recording, I really love the way that when you talk to your guests, it's really just so raw and personal and conversational. And that's a lot of what I try to do here as well. So I definitely want to start with your own personal recovery journey, how your addiction escalated, what a typical day looked like when you were in the throes of your addiction, and why you decided to seek recovery.
My personal recovery journey, I used to be in high school. You know, I used to be like one of the popular kids. I had a lot of things when I was young. You know what I mean? I could say, because I'm the youngest out of 5 kids.
Ooh.
And so I was quote unquote spoiled.
Yes.
So I had a lot of things that a lot of kids in my grade didn't have at the time. I had cars and things of that nature, you know. So we all started venturing off. That's one thing we always do. We dibble. I used to dibble and dabble in marijuana. And so when I graduated school, I graduated high school, I got into college, everybody. And that kind of, you know, the college life, with the ladies and with your friends and everything. So I'm drinking. I started to drink.
Yeah.
And you know, with that drinking, it started to get out of hand. I really didn't notice it myself, but a lot of my friends and family them did. But let me remind you that my daddy was an alcoholic. So I'm kind of predisposed to the whole alcoholism thing.
Yeah.
And so,
did you see a lot of chaos in your house, or yeah?
Yeah, it was a lot of arguing. But let me remind you that my dad passed when I was 10.
Okay.
So my mother, before my dad passed, I used to hear a lot of arguing, but I've never really, since I was so young, I never really seen any physical abuse. But I remember the arguments. They wouldn't do it in front of us. It was pretty much behind closed doors. And, you know, so I remember that a little bit. But I don't say that that was kind of triggered me or gave me any trauma.
Yeah.
Because my childhood life was tremendous. I mean, my mom did everything possible, gave us everything that we needed. So I tip my hat off to my mom right now for blessing us. I mean, all of her kids graduated high school, went to college. Um, we all had our share of ups and downs.
Sure.
But Yeah, and pretty much since she pretty much raised us to be well respectable citizens and treat people well. So when I got out of college, um, when I actually went for a year and a half, and I told myself I was gonna take a semester off, and that semester kind of led to me moving back home. I moved back home, and the drinking started to escalate. Everybody, it started to
Yeah.
get a little worse. I found myself every day waking up wanting to drink. I didn't have the shakes or anything like that. I just knew that drinking was more calming to me. Um, I had stopped smoking marijuana, and I was just dibble and dab with the marijuana. But my thing was to, go get me some brandy or some cognac
Yeah.
and beer. So that was really just fueling me up. So,
I
yeah,
noticed too when I went to college, it's like when my drinking started to escalate because it was the first time that I was like unsupervised and I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to.
yeah.
Is that part of the reason maybe in the beginning why you think it escalated in college?
I kind of think so too, because
Yeah.
like you said, I was able to go buy it, have my car. I was able to go get it whenever I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like you said, being unsupervised and being young, being eager, being, just living in free will, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
like some people say, I was just living wide open. I was just,
That's right.
yeah, just out there wide open, Nate.
So when you took the semester off, were your intentions to return and finish your degree?
Yeah, that was all of my intentions. My
Of
intention was
course.
to go back,
Yeah.
but during that time that I had off, I started to work. I found me a factory job and I started to work, and I kind of enjoyed the income that was coming
Yeah.
in. And so I met this young lady, which is my wife now,
Amazing.
and yeah, and we hit it off pretty strong. And she had my daughter, and like you say, life, marriage life, and things like that. The family started to expand, and so I kind of put the school on the
Yeah.
back burner and started living the family life. You know what I'm saying? They started living the family life, start to enjoy life, but at the same time, the old demons I had.
Yeah.
She didn't pretty much know them. I was trying to hide them for a little minute. But when we have our damn addiction, they ain't no hide that. Eventually, it go peek his damn head.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Because it's our first priority, right? Always.
yeah,
So if it comes down to you're a little tipsy when you come home when you weren't supposed to, or it's gonna get out there because it's our first priority, right?
yes, sir. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like, at first, when she first met me and everything like that, it was just, okay, maybe he just drink a little bit here and there. He just do this. But after a while, after we settled in and everything, and when we in our addiction and shit, we can tell ourselves, man, I'm gonna try to chill out. I ain't trying to show this girl that I can, what I'm really capable of. You know what I mean? So I wasn't trying to show that side. But one thing about me, Nathan, I would always keep a damn good job. I would always keep a job, but I could never let go of those demons. Those
Yeah.
demons that would stay there with me. So I had a struggle with that. So within our marriage, I had a lot of years of my alcohol abuse got out of hand, Nate. Okay, so I can get to this situation here.
Let me ask you a
Um,
question real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
What was her reaction when she first started to realize?
It was a couple of years before it got to a point where it was damaging in the household.
Yeah.
We wasn't fighting head on. We had more verbal abuse towards each other.
Yeah.
And even with the verbal abuse, that's still abuse. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So to people out there and the viewers that will be watching this, stay mindful of the verbal abuse because that's still abuse when it comes down to it. But it's one thing about it. The choices we make affect the others around us. So she was a sweet, kind person, and she still is today. and we still married today. But the choices that I made could make her or change her in a certain way. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So my ways, I had to figure it out. I had to do a lot of soul searching. Um, a lot of my family members, even my wife, she would tell me you need to slow down on drinking. But one thing in our damn addiction, what's the first thing we say? I got it.
Right.
I got it. I can beat it.
We have one baby, right? Do you guys continue to grow your family throughout this time?
Yes, sir, Nick. We just recently, okay, we have my oldest daughter. She's 14, and we have a son, and we just had a newborn in July. He came about after my rehab experience.
Yes.
so,
Yes. Let's
so
get
me
into
doing
that.
all the stuff I was doing, I guess when I came out of rehab, them 2 months out of rehab.
You were
So
excited to get home.
yeah, so I'm 39 years old and she's 39. So we wasn't expecting that. She was like, I guess this is no more drinking and no more drugging.
That's right.
Keep
He's
the
gonna
little one in.
keep you clean, right?
But I never would say that people that use cocaine and stuff like that. But let me tell you, man, I was a late bloomer, and I'm 39 right now. I started using cocaine at the age of 37. I didn't know really what to expect with that, but starting using cocaine took me over the hump. It took me to a point where, okay, he was a sleepy alcoholic, non-confrontational, non-violent. He'll drink and go to sleep. That's what you can expect. He'll be sleeping in a minute. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
Now I go from up all night, paranoid, thinking that my wife cheated.
right.
And so that kind of took off. It kind of got on her nerves to a point where she used to get the kids and leave the house and leave me at the house. And like I said, man, it's one thing after another led to a point where, Nate, it was time. It was time for me to get my shit together.